And we're live. Hey, everybody. Mike Dixon, Joker Tech. I wanted to say Simply Your Device. I've been saying that for so many years. I don't know, 5 years now. Yeah, a little change to the channel. I ain't going to get much into it because I really just want to stay on the scope of the show. With me today,
you got Frozen's head?
Well, yeah, I got with me today. Frozen today.
So you're probably going to have issues with me too. This is my first day on this one.
What do you? Oh, yeah.
You're probably going to have issues with me.
This guy here, what do you got? Comcast. They're really doing you a favor, right?
Yeah. Hopefully by next week I'll have my old one back, which is much faster.
And over here, Ted's doing a karate chop. Okay.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Now listen, Mike. On YouTube, it just shows a black screen for Ted.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does.
Yeah, he probably dropped out then.
Okay.
No, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Well, on YouTube, it's a black screen.
On YouTube,
you're just a Black Lives Matter going.
Yeah, right on, brother. Yeah.
I just saw some of the comments real quick. You need wait a minute. I want to just real quick. I saw the comment about we missed Simply Device from Alan, Phone Tech at Work. Listen, to be honest with you guys, I know, and Will kind of touched on it last week. Look, I can't do what YouTube requires you to do. That's put out videos. In this case, buy the merchandise, buy the stuff to review it. Some other financial things have hit me in about less than 10 days. I'm going to get a new roof put on, like literally right above me. All right, that's costing me the equivalent to
pixels.
Yeah,
pixels. Some
yeah, yeah. You know, a few S20 Ultras. So you know, I just to be honest with you, I come here and do this with these guys. And if I have the time and the energy to put out a video, I am. And I'm not going to be. There's certain things that come out anymore. I'm not going to just to sugarcoat it and be polite. I'm going to just say what's on my mind when I do make these videos, or whatever the subject matter is. I got to remember to look at the camera right there. Anyway,
no filter.
No filter. Yeah, well, I wasn't much of a filter anyway, but you know, sometimes there's things I know. Well, today's show is going to show what's on my mind. And yes, the Joker represents in my mind. Well, first off, I thought he was really played great by Heath Ledger. That is the actor's name, right? The 2008 version. I thought that whole trilogy was spot on for Batman. I read it as a kid, and then I caught some of the Dark Knight series, and it was like Christopher Nolan took it right out of the pages. It was perfect. Anyway, I saw somebody said it. Let's see here. Max said something about we're going to get to know Joker Tech. Yeah, you're going to get him. You're going to get to know me. You're going to get to know what I think, and I'm going to be goofy about it, and we're going to have fun doing it. So
they're all singing. Well, I'd like to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
So anyway, and this wait a minute, see if I can get this angle right. You like that? I'm like, wait a minute. This guy.
Wait. He's making his point, folks.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Ted's comment.
Okay, first off, Ted's okay, and then there's Will. How you doing, Will? Sorry, didn't introduce you. Okay,
everybody.
You know, Ted's got his kung fu look. You know, I'm gonna chop you. Still doing chops. So while Ted works out his stuff, we got a bunch of stuff to cover. We're going to do a different show, guys, as I already preempted. I have taken snippets. I love doing this. I love grabbing YouTube people, tech reviewers, and grabbing their comments. And I almost wanted. There were so much, and there were so many possibilities I could go on with this. And maybe I'll make this when it's my turn to do this. When it's my turn, because some of the things that these tech reviewers say either do make you pause and go or make you say what the. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to say bad words because I know it upsets George. What the heck are you saying? What are you coming from? So let me just get into it. Let me see if I can do this. I want to do one at least and see if this turns out all right. I'm going to share a screen and audio, and let's see if we can do this here.
And believe me, folks, he put in the work to be able to do this.
Yeah. Okay, Chrome. And we've got. Where we go? Ah, there it is. And share. And here we go. And here we go.
At this point, the camera itself. Right. I mean, when the camera works, and we didn't experience it a lot with the Pixel 4, but the Pixel 3 was clogged with camera app problems.
Yeah. Thankfully, the 4 has addressed that.
But yeah, I mean, you're right in the sense that if the Pixel line didn't have its camera advantage, it would be even harder to sell. And the Pixel 4 did not increase the.
All right, let me pause that. And so, what do you think that what they were talking about? This is an episode from.
I think I heard that episode. I probably did.
Yeah.
And what they're saying is essentially that the Pixel sucks.
That's not what they're saying.
Right, George. What they're saying is the Pixel sucks without the camera. Because
I'll
I'll
buy that. I'll buy that.
The
Basically, what they're saying is the Pixel doesn't live up to any hype without the camera. That's true.
They don't even live up to the camera hype no more because the iPhone camera is better this year. And it's cheap.
Hopefully we'll see in a few months.
No, I'm talking about the 11. They were talking.
The 11 beat
the 11 upped the game greatly.
Yes, in terms of video, yeah, that's true.
In terms of
better for video.
In terms of picture quality too, in terms of night mode.
Look, the iPhone.
This SE takes as better, almost a good picture as this does.
Yeah,
okay?
but it doesn't take it. But it doesn't take as good a picture as this does. I guarantee you that.
What's that, George?
It's the iPhone 11.
11.
Well,
right.
The Pixel's a disappointment because the battery sucks. The software is basic.
The battery is the big problem, I think.
The battery and the design.
But the software is supposed to be basic. They want the pure experience.
George, the iPhone is basic too, but it has a screen recorder. Come on, like
but for instance, if you ask Jerome which one he'd prefer, he'd prefer the Pixel.
He's going to prefer the Pixel because you can put your icons where you want. But if you're going to pick up,
he wants the pure experience.
He wants the pure Android experience, but
right,
the Pixel for $1,000 is still missing features that $400 phones probably got.
Well, it's not $1,000. It's like $700.
How much?
Okay, it's $700 for 64 gigs.
Right.
No, you know what I mean?
With the questionable battery.
If you buy that one, you might as well. It's like getting an SE. You know what I mean? You can spend $300 and get an SE.
Gary's saying you're on the BS again, huh?
Yeah, Gary's on your case right away.
Nah, okay. Gary, I'm just telling the truth, man. I'm just telling the truth.
All right, Mike, my mind is trying to resolve the audio versus the video. What have they to do with each other?
Well, he's just showing you how the Pixel got beat up in the.
Yeah.
No,
well, I couldn't think of anything. I just didn't want a blank screen. So to bring out the Joker, the introducing the Joker tech, I figure I'd put segments of the Joker. I mean, when you got Cesar Romero, was that his name? Yeah, I mean, you can't pass that guy up,
Gary, the 11 Pro Max, the Pixel, the iPhone 11 that George got, what is that one? $700?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it was.
You can't compare the Pixel price. The Pro Max.
And I thought the Pixel was more than $700.
The Pixel I think is $750, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, Brian. It's not all about roasting, but it's just speaking the truth, though, too. I see Brian's comment.
If you buy the SE, you complain about the Pixel battery. Battery on the SE is abysmal. It shouldn't be just due to the size. Yeah, the SE battery is no good either, but the Pixel battery is no good for $700. The SE is what, $400?
So, you ready to move on to the next one? I don't want to. Okay.
I can talk about that all day. Me and George won't get along at the end.
It's about the Pixel is specs and battery life.
What I was hoping one of y'all would say, what else is wrong, is the price.
Not
Yeah,
anymore.
that's always relevant to the specs, of course.
Yeah. You know, what can they do to lower the price while they still work on making everything slightly better? If the
Get rid of
Pixel,
motion sense.
well, if the Pixel
Which they
4 had
did.
sold for $399, we'd say it was the best GD phone ever built.
Well, is the price have an effect on the Pixel, fellas?
Hold on, Mike. Gary said the Pixel is $700 for the Pixel 4 XL.
Where?
I want to know where you buy it.
I want to know where you're getting, and I don't want to buy it from a carrier because they're going to want
Yeah,
you to switch
carrier
and all that.
You have to get it.
So
from
don't give me that
Howard
horse bucket.
Stream one. I've never gotten that on the Pixel. I think I've gotten like 5.5, maybe.
Okay.
4.
But and to Jerry's point though, he was saying that along with the other issues with the Pixel 4, the price alone. Now, if that phone was lower in price, would the battery be an issue? Would face unlock face unlock or whatever they're calling it? Would that be an issue? Would we overlook that if that phone came in half the price of what they initially came out with? What do you think?
Would have had to be half the price. Still had a good camera. It would have had to be a Nexus to make that battery acceptable.
Sorry, George, I didn't see you there.
I don't know if it's the right one, Mike, but like he said, I think it was that episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Pixel came out with like a battery that the other companies were doing the year before. Like that battery would have been all right against the iPhone 10. You know what I mean? Because the iPhone 10's battery was trash. But against the iPhone 11 and the Samsung was 10.
Well, the problem there is the Pixel comes out in late September, and they're using last year's processor all the time.
Yeah, but George, that don't matter.
That don't matter.
No. September. The iPhone comes out in September. The new comes out in like August, and their batteries all killed the Pixel. It's just Google.
But when the iPhone comes out in September, it has its latest processor. The Pixel has last year's processor, almost a year old at that point.
It's last year's for Android, like because of how Android does.
Exactly.
But the iPhone's battery is like 2 years ahead of what the Pixel's doing.
Well, that's probably true.
But here's the
2 years ahead.
but here's the
Samsung puts
thing.
their phone out in March, and the battery destroys the Pixel.
Yeah, the only one who's going to match the battery is probably Huawei.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but that shouldn't even be. Sorry, Ted. That shouldn't even be because the Pixel has nothing on it.
Ted, I knew this was getting ramped up, Ted. I knew this was getting ramped up.
It doesn't have no crazy feature.
You're 100% right. No, you're 100%
That's terrible.
right. Yep.
There's nothing that's
And why is it that Huawei can get it right and Google can't? That's what I don't.
But you know what? Huawei is different because they put all that stuff on there that like limits your notifications and all that. Google don't have none of that.
But they use their own. They also use their own processor, which I think Google needs to do.
I don't know.
Well, what is that going to gain them, George, by using their
Nothing,
own
George.
processor?
Mike, you know what it's going to gain them?
Well, I want to hear what George says.
It seems that all the companies that make their own processor have good processors and good battery life.
Okay,
Yeah.
Huawei, Apple, they make their own processors.
What about the Exynos 9810? That was a crappy one compared to Snapdragon.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Now wait a minute. You all guys talk about 4G. Now we got 5G into play, and only a few companies got a corner into 5G. Only a few.
Well, this 5G phone works great, and the battery life is great in Samsung.
Yes, and whose chipset is in that? Qualcomm.
This is
Snapdragon. Yeah. Okay. So what I recently heard in another again, maybe my opinions influence, but it's true. There's no other company out there that's trying to make their own they got to make the modem, or somebody's going to have to buy a Qualcomm's modem.
I may be getting ready to cut out.
I hate when I have to cut out. Man, usually I got to see a doctor for that. So, well, I'm just hey guys, help me out with the quotes. Jeez, I'm thinking of work comments. Yeah,
Gary said price is subjective. Gary, but I don't know. I understand.
Well, Gary's right about that.
Yeah, but it's too expensive, man. It is. The camera's great, but it's still.
No, I got to agree with you, Will.
It's too expensive, and I like the Pixel phones. For what they're giving you in that design and all that, it's basic, man. The battery's terrible. There's no reason that battery should be that bad. Like Gary can say he gets 7 hours.
The 3A and the 4A are worth the money, but the regular one isn't.
George, Google knows that their phone is overpriced, and they put out one that's at the right price later to show you, like, this one was way overpriced. This shows you right here. Google's never going to be like, we're going to put out the 5A and the 5 and the 5 XL all at the same time like Apple does, because they know nobody's buying the premium model. Nobody.
Will,
that's true.
Will, Ted has something to say. Okay, go ahead, Ted. I'll mute his mic.
Thank you, Mike. So obviously, the thing with a Pixel 4 with a high price tag, usually if there's a poison pill about a handset, usually the thing to overcome it is the price. To say, okay, the battery sucks, but with the price so low, I could buy a battery bank and fix that problem. And
you just bought an $800,000 phone. You need to buy a battery bank.
No, he's saying Mike, just adding cost to the phone. That's all.
He's saying the price will be cheaper. He's saying the price will be cheaper.
Yeah, but the
price isn't cheaper. But the price is not cheaper if you have to go out and buy a battery bank. You have just added that to the price,
and then you got to carry a battery back around. Exactly. Who's doing that?
$20 for a battery bank.
I agree, Will.
And second up, forgot the point. The third part.
Gary,
in 2020 there was no other handset that had a bad battery life. So
Gary is like defending them. You can't do that.
Yes, he is. Gary's always going to defend them. You know that.
If the price was such a thing, everybody be driving this or driving that. If you pay $1,000, you're supposed to get a phone where the battery's going to at least be up to par with what else is out.
All right, but it's $700 now. But it's $700.
No, it ain't. Where?
Yeah, but it was $900.
Hold on.
It was $900. If you're spending $900, you ought to be able to get some battery life.
Ted, you find the deals. Show me where it's $700 at. I'll buy one. Show me where it's $700.
Oh, you better put your money where that mouth is.
Come on.
$700.
We're going down.
Find me one for $700. There ain't none.
Pixel
that phone is $899 unless Google is putting it on sale, and I don't think so.
Everybody behave yourselves. Bombs in the room, okay? So my son's here. My son's here to straighten out things too. So Michael Dixon Jr. Take care of the room. All right. If anybody gets out of line, all right, please, thanks. So
between the two mics, we're gonna get slapped around.
That's right. That's right.
You must be talking about Swapper, Gary, because that phone is not.
Yeah.
It's not $700. Mike, listen,
I'm not going to.
Mike, hold on. $800 for the Pixel 4. The regular Pixel with 64 gigs, the one with SE style battery, is $800. That phone is not $700. Nowhere. Okay. Swapper might have a used one.
So let me ask you guys this. We know the price. Obviously, everybody has their own opinion about price and where does it play in a smartphone, and especially for us phone snobs. But now, do you believe? I forgot to do this. Do you guys believe that this is a bunch of horse pucky? Wait a minute, did I share? Wait a minute. There we go. There, I'm sharing it. Do you guys think this is a bunch of horse pucky right there? Do you really think Pixel shipments for 2019 was 7.2 million? Or do you think is that would it be really 7.1 million of the Pixel 3A?
Mike, I think what they're saying is all the Pixels, all of them.
Okay, well, you just volunteered. You just volunteered to read this to everybody. I said that we're going to read.
Volunteer to read it, but
yes, you did.
Yeah. All right. Let me see.
I promised a little bit of reading.
Yeah, you did. I guess. Google Pixel shipments hit 7.2 million in 2019, passing OnePlus for the best year yet. All right. Google Pixel 4 was far from a success according to recent reports, but that doesn't take away from Google's momentum when growing the lineup. Today, IDC reveals that the Google Pixel line had its best performance, quote unquote, in 2019, shipping 7.2 million units. In a report Google Pixel 4 was revealed to have only managed to sell 2 million units over the course of 6 months, with part of those sales being in 2020. So how did the Google Pixel line manage to sell 7.2 million devices?
I was wondering the same thing.
We'd assume that the majority of the sales come from the Pixel 3a, the $399 mid-ranger that received high praise. Google pointed to that phone selling well in an earnings call earlier this year. A report in 2019 also revealed that the Pixel 3a had doubled sales in 1 quarter. 7.2 million units shipped is still a tiny number in the grand scheme of things, though. That number was apparently enough to surpass OnePlus, but it didn't put Google anywhere near the top 10. OnePlus reportedly shipped around 2 million smartphones in India alone in 2019, but global numbers aren't detailed. Oppo is the 5th place smartphone maker in the world, and it ships over 114 million units per year. Clearly, Google still has a lot of work to do. Who's that? Oh, I thought that was Risk Oscar low in the middle. So above Steve Francisco, blah, 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 said Google is lying.
Let's see. Hey, Will.
Wait a minute. Did somebody say Google's lying? What was that?
No, I see. I'm saying whatever that guy's.
Well, you got $700 because there's a link for you on the private chat.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon. It's showing the regular Pixel 4 at 700, and it's showing the Pixel 4 XL at 800.
Yeah, well, visible. Isn't that your network?
George, 128. Make it 128.
No. You said for $700.
No. Look what Gary said. Look what Gary said. Gary said 128 gig for $700.
Okay.
All you said was $5 million.
And I'm not buying. I'm not buying that tiny battery one. I wouldn't buy that one. And I'm not buying it on visible either. I want it unlocked.
You didn't say anything about Pixel 4.
Yeah, those were the conditions based on the chat. Mike and George and Gary, they all know I'm not buying that small phone so it could die.
Ladies and gentlemen of the chat,
Jerome.
If you ask for a Pixel 4 XL,
I don't want
buy me a Pixel 4.
I don't want my phone
for $700.
I will buy it. On Amazon for the 128, $899.
There you go. $899 plus tax.
And that's for a 4 or 4XL?
That's the 4XL.
That's for the regular 4 with 128
That's only the 4? Wow.
Only the 4.
Wow. That's why the SE looks kind of good.
Yeah,
it's half the price.
That's why the 4A looks good too.
That's why the iPhone.
The iPhone 11.
And that's why TCL phones look good too.
So let me put a question to Mobile Geezer George here. Now you got the S20, right? And you've got the Pixel 3. You got the Pixel 3a, and now
that's over there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now let's briefly talk about how the UI, the actual operating experience, because that's the thing. That's my appeal about the 3a. First, the price is right. I'm getting everything what a high end 4 would be in this case, or Google 3 and Pixel 3. What's your experience? How you liking the new Samsung's UI going on right now? And did you just freeze, George?
How are we liking what?
I wanted to know his experience with the S20. Mind you, it's got the 5G. He's liking it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell by the look on his face.
Yeah, really. Also, I'm talking to him because he gets real silent, like going, "Oh God, did I say something wrong, George? George?"
George is giving you the Clint Eastwood stare down.
Yeah, you know.
He's giving you the dirty Harry.
Oh man, the phone is $200 cheaper now. You can't buy a battery in Bangladesh. Man, listen, I'm not buying that small one. I can't. I mean, at this point, I might as well wait for the Pixel 5 with the 728 processor.
There he is.
I think you're better off with the 4A than the 5. That's my opinion.
The 4 what?
He's saying to buy the 4A instead of the 5 because the 5 is going to have a trash processor.
I think the 4A is going to be the much better buy of the two.
Okay.
Google can't get it together, man. That's all. Like I said, they're never going to be like, here's the 5A, the 5, and the 5XL because nobody's going to buy the other phone.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because they don't give you a reason to. There's no reason to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 3 years
face unlock.
updates.
The face. Listen, that's what Gary said. The face unlock still don't work with half the apps in the app store.
What was that about the bank? Is the bank following?
No, only there's like a couple of them. Like it ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't no wide range of banks.
Right.
The updates that they're adding, like Android 11, they did do a nice notification thing with the conversations. That's nice, but they're just getting a screen recorder. iPhone got screen recorder.
And some of the security stuff for safety, they did a pretty good job with too, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, that's more like they could have just made that on an app. Like they don't even have to act like that's some big feature.
Yeah, I think it's a big feature because it's built in and you don't have to download an app. I think that's great.
It's a big feature, but it's not. Like you can just download an app that's going to do that.
I think for a woman running, let's say, outside exercising alone at night, it's a great feature.
George, don't no women buy no Pixel?
Well, that may be true. You could be right there.
They got a Samsung, man.
Oh, wait a minute.
It goes with the Pixel.
Wait a minute.
They got a Samsung.
2 years ago, one of my customers and her father both bought a Pixel, so there are women who buy Pixels.
I do see women with Pixels.
But
Gary, Gary, it's not about the specs; it's about the performance. But
Gary, that's nasty, Gary. That's nasty.
Gary, for the price that Google charges you for the phone, when they're supposed to be competing with OnePlus and Samsung and HTC, or not HTC, what's the name of that company? LG and all them companies. They can't charge. They can't charge. Well, they can. They can charge it, but they can't expect nobody to buy it. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta agree with Will on that.
They can't.
I gotta agree with you.
I could roll with them for the first one. All right, it's your first one, even the second one, and I bought them all, Gary. So I like the phone, but when you put that up against another $1,000 phone, I don't care what it is, how bad you don't like the UI, the Pixel's lacking, man. It's lacking. The camera's great, but it's nothing when the phone's dead.
So Will, you think the S20 is the way to go?
Again.
If I was gonna spend that kind of money, no, because I don't like their software. For me,
really, you really have a problem with their software.
You know
still.
me, man. I'm picky. I don't like the way their icons look and all that.
You change them. This is Android.
I don't like doing all that.
That's what I've been saying.
I don't like doing all that.
You don't like doing that
because it's still not right.
Oh my God, Will's one of those customers.
No. I don't like having to change the launcher. Then I got to change the app drawer, the way it scrolls, because I don't like that.
Are you telling me that you actually use the stock launcher on phones?
On my Pixel? When I had a Pixel, yeah.
Wow.
On Samsung, that's why I don't buy them no more.
I could do this right there. I keep on forgetting this.
Is George froze again?
Yeah, he froze again. And he's back. I got to remove him from there.
Yeah, y'all making Comcast look good today.
Not here. Here is Comcast. That's the problem here. Hopefully by next week I'll get EPPF5 back again.
Check this out. Look at Munchie's. Look what Munchie's comment is.
Munchie, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not why you're called sheep. It's just because you after a while you stop wasting money on crazy stuff when the phone keeps dying early. To get battery life like that.
As long as Tailosive Tech is around, he'll be the number one sheep.
To get battery life, like Gary was saying on his Pixel, I have to think
Jonathan
about
Morrison, though,
like
too,
I gotta sit there and be like, all right, let me turn down my screen brightness to be sure the phone don't die. You know what I mean? To be sure I make it home, or the phone might be dead. That's terrible for $1,000. When the competition that's out this year, you don't got to think about it.
Oh, that is true. No, Ted, don't have to roll your eyes and get permanently stuck, man. Come on, man. Your eyes are permanently stuck, dude. So,
oh, thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Ellie, because Comcast is just as bad here in Chattanooga.
funny, Tailosive, how do you say his name again?
Tailosive.
He's in actually in part of what we're going to cover tonight. So
come on, Mike, what's the next one?
But at least you got to give him credit. He calls himself an Apple sheep, you know.
What
I
was
don't
it?
know. This guy
Don't worry, I know I'm going to be disappointed this year by iOS 14, but if the Pixel drops down in price again, I'll get one. If it
real
goes
quick,
down to $700.
6, right in the comments, why you think the OnePlus is the way to go? Why you think that's the way to go? So
what do you say?
Yeah, why is that? Yeah.
Why he wrote in there?
OnePlus is the way to
go. Yeah.
Oh, nah, OnePlus can't even keep their phones in stock.
So,
right. 6, you're right. You're right. Renee Ritchie's in there too. That's true.
In the Apple, Apple sheepage.
Yeah,
sheepage.
But see, you can't call it.
I like it. Good word. I like it.
Because the iPhone is consistent. You don't have to be like, oh,
this is what I always tell people when they ask me about a phone. I said, you want something that just works?
I will sponsor your battery bank for Will.
Is Face Unlock?
There you go. There you go,
Munchie. Work for, what do you say? I will sponsor your battery bank for Is Face Unlock gonna work for my banking app? Did Google update the API to let it work? Like, that's stupid.
But wait a minute. Wait, just to make point. Just to make point. What Will was saying.
Mike, did you see the news on the thing?
Would you let me tell you the story? I gotta get a shed a tear.
You gotta
let him talk.
But you said long ago, when we went out about 6 months ago, which, by the way, I'll concede I lost the burger bet. All right, I'm going to say that now. I'll just
Mike, quarantine's over, right?
I know. So let's go get a burger.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, you better not, you bastard.
Let me go to googlestore.com.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, to Will's credit, Will, one of the things you did say was, though, you were turning out phones, all that money was going in and out and stuff. Was it not a kind of an expensive affair? And then you had to you're going to school, right? You had some work done. You had some work done to your house. I mean, crummy. In the end, Will feels comfortable with the iPhones because he knows as much as it's boring and it's driving him nuts. And I had to show him how to use folders and make it so he gets a full screen. But that's what works for him. You know what I mean? There goes George. Damn it, George, Mike, get back here fast.
Mike, listen, it's terrible. Like, it doesn't even work that great.
What don't?
You know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like that my notifications look like trash, but the Pixel is too expensive.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Comcast.
I can't give them $800 or whatever.
Now I'm going to do the next. I'm going to do the next audio clip, and by the way, there was one story that deals with what we're going to hit. It's Jerry Hillbrand still on the same podcast talking about this, and what shocked the poop out of me. That he actually recommends this phone over. He's on a podcast talking about the Pixel. Now, I don't want to give him. I mean, granted, if that's how he feels, that's fine. But I feel strongly that I don't know. Right now, you got a 3A that's for $299 at times. They're always coming out with these sales. So let me play. Let me play this screen share. And you're gonna hear what he has to say, which really surprised the what out of me.
And he's got expertise.
Okay. See if this works.
I mean, I recently wrote something about the 10e, and that it's a comparable price to the iPhone SE. And if you don't like iOS,
I remember that.
If you're looking in that price, but that phone didn't launch at $399 or $422. What it launched at about $700?
Here, let me stop this screen share.
Yeah, I heard that podcast. That surprised me too. But one thing, Jerry, he usually says that no phone is worth more than $500. But it did surprise me that he picked the 10e. But hey, he always knows what he's talking about, so I can't disagree.
But why? I mean, granted, the focus was on that, and maybe we don't want to presume. I don't want to come across that were they there to pump up the Pixel? And it's great that he suggested that phone in some way, but why? Why pick a phone when you know
to me he's saying that of Samsung's premium phones last year, the 10e is the way to go. That's my impression. But he didn't give a specific reason.
Right. All last year phones are a way to go. Be honest with you.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind they had multiple phones to choose from for the Galaxy S series, and he's saying that's the one to buy. That's how I'm looking at it.
Is he saying that's the phone to buy for this year, or was it for last year?
No, he's saying it's the phone to buy right now if you want a good phone for the money. That's what he's saying.
I would think that would be the 10 Plus.
And I can tell you, Jerry knows more about phones than the four of us put together, and probably has for 20 years.
You can buy the S10 Plus for $400 new on Amazon.
Yeah, and I think he's saying between the S10 Plus and the S10e, the S10e is the better buy. That's what I'm getting from it.
Okay.
But why not a Pixel 3 XL?
I'm not sure.
You're still under 500.
Wait. What do you mean? A Pixel 3 XL over what?
Oh my gosh! Well, as soon as he heard
over the S10e,
triggered, he's like, "Whoa, over
the S10e?
Yeah. But you'd have to ask Jerry, and I can tell you firsthand, he will talk to you. I know that.
He probably picked the S10.
Well, let's see what the Samsung has over the Pixel. It has the better display. It has better battery life. It has DeX.
Better design.
Yes, it has better display, better design. That's all.
It has DeX and it has Samsung Pay. Look at that.
You don't think so, Mike?
Boom.
Mike, listen, the 3XL battery wasn't no good either.
No, that's true. That's true.
The 3XL.
Okay.
Well, I put this phone through this.
Mike, Mike, you're talking about the 3A XL.
Yeah.
I meant to say the 3A XL. I meant to.
But the 3XL had battery issues too.
If you get the 3A XL, I don't know how much it is now. Isn't it like 4 or something?
I don't know.
Because
you can get it cheaper, but
because you still
can find it for $350.
Oh, okay. Well, for that much.
See, that's what I keep on going back to. The 3A will get more support than the Samsung phone made in the last 2 years.
3A XL, $319.
You'll get the major software updates, but
and security patches.
Listen, but Samsung's been killing it lately. And what was included with the software? Look at Android 11. There's not much to it,
except for the good new features.
Except for that one thing George is talking about.
Except for the 2 features that Andrew Martinick wrote about, and I agree with.
What did he write about? That helped.
He wrote about the security feature, and he wrote about, I forgot the other thing he wrote about, but he picked those 2.
Good.
He picked those. He said there wasn't much of an upgrade, but he thought those 2 features were outstanding.
Chat heads was not it.
No, it wasn't chat heads. I gotta agree there.
They added like predictive emoji finally to the keyboard. That's what Jerome hates about.
See, now Gary's saying Pixel 3a will get more support than any Samsung phone. I don't know. Samsung's been pretty good here the last 8 months.
Gary, I love the software updates, but at this point they don't add that much. They're not adding that much.
Right there. What Munchie said. Question is, how many people actually care about Android?
Nobody does.
Okay. And including iOS.
Well, we do. Right. Yeah, nobody really does, except for
Munchie's
really
dead right. Right on.
Most people don't care, but it's not like there was a big change between Android 10 and Android 11. It's not no big, you know what I mean? It wasn't a big jump.
Not yet. We don't know yet.
They added, Mike. Mike. I guarantee you, whatever they add, it's gonna go all the way back to the Pixel 2. There ain't no more Soli. Soli don't matter. So there's nothing that's gonna be exclusive. They put everything going all the way back anyway. You'll be able to download the new Google Assistant features on your Samsung S10 3 weeks after they're on the Pixel. Because Google does what they want, like George says. It's Google's company, and they don't got to make the Pixel special.
And look, now you got George so upset he froze.
Gary knows the Pixel has nothing really exclusive. The most exclusive thing they got now is I don't even know. What's the exclusive thing on the Pixel now?
You got a drop
storage. The what?
The software drops like every quarter. They're gonna like they always give out a new feature.
Oh, that thing, the call screen. That's
And
like
now. I just want to, guys, real quick. Have you guys looked into this like this here, the S10 Lite? Now that's running the 855 processor. I understand. So you're getting an S10-ish phone new for under $500.
Or you can just get the last year S10, not the current one.
The one S10, probably for the same price. And
like,
less
And what's it going to be like in the carriers?
What?
You think is that phone going to sell in the carriers?
What, the S10 Lite?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know anybody.
I don't think people are gonna like the word
right.
light.
Earlier we were talking. I forgot to. I wanted to circle back. Is how about the eye test? As they said on that podcast, the eye test. I mean, let's just take a look for a moment, though. What the people are carrying today. What do you see most of the time? Do you see pixels? How many of you people out there?
I've never seen a Pixel 4. I've never seen a Pixel 4. I've seen threes. I've seen 3s and 3As, but I've never
out in the wild. I mean, people you don't know, people you didn't turn them on to this. See, this is what I'm saying. All you see is Apple, Samsung, Apple. That's all you get to see.
A lot of Samsung. I see a lot of Samsung.
And how older Samsungs like 8s and 7s?
I see a lot of old iPhones.
Yeah.
I see a lot of new Samsungs. A lot of people got new Samsungs.
But this is where's that number they were given? Whatever that article, 7.2 million. Where are those Where are those phones at? Hey, here in North America, I know North America is dying, and that's what I think. I think they're in trouble. I think Android is in trouble here in North America, personally. As far as having, I mean, the Apple is running away with it, plain and simple.
No, I think Android will be all right. I think just Google.
Nah,
Google. I think
look,
Google.
I just had a coworker, a sales guy. A sales guy went from Apple to an S8, and he said because his Android Auto it did not work right. He has his whole family has iPhones. He went back and got an iPhone, brand new 11 Pro, and he should have heard him. He's like he came home. Okay,
his whole family pulled the green.
Wait. Google isn't in trouble. No, you're right. Google isn't in trouble there, Gary. It's Android that's in trouble, and I'm not smoking nothing yet. I'm drinking coffee. Okay,
Mike. It's not Android.
It's Android in trouble, not Google. Because Google's going home.
Android is
going home with my money.
Android isn't going to be in trouble because you can buy an Android phone for $80. Android's not going to be in trouble.
Then there's truth in that. Pixels, yes, you're right.
Google Pixels. It's not going to be like how long the Pixel been out? 4 years or whatever. When it first came out, and everybody was like, "Wow, Google's going to change the game. They're going to be." They make Android. It's going to be great when Google has their own phone. It's not going to be like that. So Google Pixels are not going to sell because Google can't even get its own stuff right. Google, how can you?
It all falls on Samsung. It all falls on Samsung to hold up.
Samsung is Android,
right? And right, and it falls on them to keep Android alive. But when I see more and more people, I talk to more and more people. Do you hear how many people here know? How many people in the chat heard? I'm going to go get, an S10. How many people going? I had an iPhone. I'm going to get Android. You don't hear that. You hear more the other way around.
But real talk though, last year and I guess sort of this year as well, Apple did win the price war. Like they charged. The price was right for their iPhone 11.
And again, price is a factor.
And then to double the storage, it was just $50, not $100, which Pixel charges. To double up the storage, Pixel charges $100, but for the iPhone 11, Apple only charged $50 to double up that storage.
For which phone did you have in mind, Ted? What you're talking about?
He's talking about
the iPhone 11.
iPhone 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, because they did that to this phone too. For an extra $50, you got up to 128.
And then now,
yeah.
And now for the iPhone SE 2, Apple's already released it at the nice, eatable, consumable price of $400. Pixel 4a, which is supposed to be the competitor, Google pushed it back. So
Google gonna push that phone back until.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Keep pushing it.
Now,
honestly, look, I don't even know why they did it. Why would you even make a new phone? Just sell the one that you have, cut the price in half. That's it. Get rid of them. Just sell it for half the price.
Well, we got to see what the 5 is going to cost.
Yeah, because listen, George, what you're doing is, and Gary won't never admit it, but what you're doing is you're slapping them in the face. No, because if you spent $1,000 and then they come out with the phone with the same thing, minus the Face ID that don't work with half the apps, you know what I mean? And so
or plastic build
and a better battery for half the price. That's terrible.
Now you're right. Gary's never going to admit it, but you're right.
I mean, that's terrible. There's no way you can't be happy about that because you don't have nothing over that phone. There's nothing better than it.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree with Brian. I loved having the unlimited cloud for photos.
Yeah, they took that away to make you pay for Google One. Come on.
Well, that was wait a minute. That was a power move taken from the books of Apple.
Mike, listen.
Come on.
Mike, wait. It was a power move. It was a power move. Google act like they had a lot of people buying the Pixel anyway.
Yeah, it was a power move from somebody who's not in the position of power. That's not good.
You can't do that when you don't have no big consumer base buying your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah, Apple can afford to do that. Samsung could do that.
As Gary Vee says, you got to jab. Then when you hook, you can punch them.
Nobody's excited.
Well, I can tell you from experience, if that hook is there after the first jab, I'm going to give you that.
What?
Yeah.
It happened.
All right,
but
George, something happened to George.
He said after the hook comes after the first jab. Well, what did he say? He left it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Is he gonna have?
And then it falls off the cliff. Oh man.
So while George is in,
that wasn't no power move, Mike. That was dumb, and that was a way to alienate customers to have people like, I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Google's not Apple.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because there's other choices. There's so many other Android phones that you can buy.
And nowadays there's so many good cheap Android phones you can buy.
Exactly. And now that you mentioned it, George, check out this hot pepper phone. Yeah, good cheap Android phone.
Yeah. Now wait. I want to talk about that real quick. And then we guys were talking about pricing, and Android still is sticking around. This is where Android still has a chance. This is where Android still has a foothold, but yet though you got these phones. Ted, how is that hot pepper? Get a load of this name, hot pepper ghost phone. What do you think of it?
I think it is okay for a $250 phone. It does the basics right. Long-lasting battery life, good call quality. The screen tops out at 720p, and the camera is absolutely garbage.
There you go.
But
so meanwhile,
in a couple of days,
you get it for free. If you get it through a carrier like Visible or Verizon, you get it for free.
We're going to see what this phone is like in a couple of days. I haven't unwrapped it yet.
Okay.
But you have to pay for that phone. You don't have to pay for this one if you go through Visible or Verizon. So
I'm not going through Visible or Verizon.
George, Visible don't got no contract.
I'm not going through Visible or Verizon. I love T-Mobile. I'm going to stick with T-Mobile.
Now the thing with that phone though is that phone was unlocked to all carriers.
Yes.
That ghost phone. No, that ghost phone.
Oh, okay. Okay. So sorry. So you don't have to go. All right. So since you don't have to go with a carrier, then that's good.
No. But
this phone has a secret weapon. It is the only phone. Watch this. Oh shit. I just.
He says, watch this and then OSH. I mean, come on now.
I think I just showed the number, but look at that. You see? Look at that.
You're slow internet.
You can record a call. You can record a call.
That's illegal, huh?
Isn't that against the law?
It depends on what state you're in. Depends on the state. You got to check your own state.
I don't think I want to try that.
Hey, George, you got a question there. On right there, I got it up on the screen.
That's the TCL 10 Pro.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Due to my issues in moving again, I haven't had a chance to unbox it yet.
Here we go.
I'll do it over the weekend.
Ted, there we go. There's one right there. Get the 3A over that trash.
Yeah, but Brian, the 3A can't record calls. Okay, so I might be on the phone with Kanye West, and I might need to be recording my calls.
Wow. I ain't calling you, Ted.
I don't know.
Call Ted until I know that phone's calling. I ain't calling you.
So we've established that Ted wants to be a spy. Okay, I got it.
You're on the phone with Kanye West.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute, George. So what he's saying is he works for Huawei. Then is that part? I think of the Chinese connection here. There we go.
No. Or you talking to the ex-wife? You discussing the prenup agreement? Mm-hmm. If Donald Trump had this phone, he wouldn't have to have been in what's it called, prenup.
And keep in mind, Mike, Ted and I did originally meet at an event sponsored by ZTE. So
did you really? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. I got more audio I got to play. I got 2 more audio sections. They're fairly big. So what do you guys think of have you come across anybody that talks about the blue bubble, green bubble situation? I know we talked a lot about it, but I never heard of you guys. How's it react to you? How do you feel when people kind of talk about it?
I don't ever have anybody talk about it to me except
nobody, right? And then nobody seems to really make a big deal of it.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Ted, anybody make it?
Yeah, it's just kids and some social circles of my family where they're like they're trying to get a group chat going on, but because I have an Android, it limits the features. But it's just a thing for the kids to worry about.
It makes sense in that.
Yeah, how come you don't make that iPhone your daily driver? By the way, why not? Or are you just because you're on the Ghost phone for now?
No, because I'm Team Android, baby.
So what are you doing with an iPhone?
Okay,
right, because Ted's a sheep.
So we have another Brian in the house or Android son.
Look at that. Oh, so I can for the webcam. I'm trying to do a video.
That's an expensive webcam.
Mike, you see what Gary said?
Yeah, I see what Gary said. Yeah.
RCS, if you're bubbling dark blue, I ain't texting you back. I almost did that to Ted last night. I was all over Ted's butt going, hey.
Aren't we all supposed to be trying to be getting along better, not less? Come on now. No, he says.
Gary, RCS doesn't matter because half the people don't even know it works. They don't know how to turn it on.
Half the people, most people never heard of it and probably never will. You know that.
The rollout was trash, man. Yep. They might as well hang that up.
But you're not supposed to have to turn it on. It's just supposed to happen.
It doesn't work though, Ted. It don't work like they say it does.
Well, Ted, what are you doing? You're getting like beauty shots here or something?
Yeah.
He's giving us the room tour, I guess.
Oh my God! Look at him. He's got that smile on his face. Ted, just stay with the day job, okay?
This is the flex when you have an iPhone for a webcam.
All right.
So you can either look at Ted's room in the background, or you can look at my C in the background. You take
Ted's trying to find the Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah,
I'm with him there. So.
George, I don't know what you did. Did you add an extra quarter to the machine because you haven't broken up yet?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
You're doing pretty good.
Next week is going to be on my channel, so I got to try to get EPBFI in here before next week.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys heard of Sara DIETSCHY?
Sara DIETSCHY.
Yeah. Okay. She has a YouTube channel called The Creator Life, and here we're going to pick up a
podcast. That's a podcast.
Well, she did it YouTube version of it. Yeah, she did a YouTube version of it, and now she's talking to Linus Tech Tips, and I'm going to pick up from here where I got to give credit to Ryan Thomas. This is a British kid. That does, he talks about phones and stuff, and he's really good about bringing back the old phones and how they aged and all. I really liked his style. So he turned me on to this. He was talking about the iMessage. That's where that's why I started off with the comment about the bubbles. Okay, so check this out, and I want to hear you guys comment, and I'm just going to let it roll. If you need me to pause it, it's just I don't know, try and get my attention somehow, or say, "Hey, Mike, pause it for a second."
Okay.
All right, here we go, and here we go. So there's a gap. I had to put gaps in there. I'm sorry. Let me see.
Okay. I don't think maybe it's being over here because I don't use WeChat or whatever the other things are. But when someone makes a group green and it's not the blue iMessage, you can't share all the pictures. You can't share that minute video in the group chat. Or I have a friend who has a Pixel. I love the Pixel. But when I try to send him like a 2-minute video, nope. So I have to upload a Google Drive, send him a link. So very basic stuff with media, with AirDrop, And I've made a lot of videos recently about, going to the dark side of PCs. And I always say, in my experience, it has been much easier to switch to PCs than if I were ever to switch to an Android. I don't see a time that I could switch. Now, I would probably
There's
say
so
that.
many alternatives.
And I know you made a video recently.
I use Plex on my phone, and I have a Plex server running at my house. So if I take a picture,
okay, well, not everyone.
Do these people not know what
fire up,
Google
hold on a
is?
second. So I can fire up Plex, and this is neat. So this is every photo that I've taken, along with every photo my wife has taken, and they're just already here. It happens automatically. Okay. There is no AirDrop. What do you mean open AirDrop? What am I, a caveman?
Or iCloud, sharing iCloud.
What, pay for iCloud? Are you kidding me? This is my server.
Okay, so
my pictures are on my server.
Right,
and I can share them with whoever I want.
It goes back to, I think, people wanting the solutions right at the palm of their hand without having to download other things,
Look at my baby. She fell asleep at the top of the stairs. Isn't she precious?
So precious.
She crawled out of bed, and then she just passed out in the hallway. Anyway,
so cute. Okay, well, touche.
So she's
Mike, listen. She's right though.
She's right in what?
That stuff he's talking about, his Plex server. Most people aren't doing that.
Right, I got you on that.
Yeah, that's
most people don't. Most people don't want to have to open up Google Photos and send a link and all. Most people don't want to do all that. iMessage makes it easier.
Wait.
You're doing that either way.
You can get
Hold on.
Albums to share that image.
No. Listen, Ted. If I
anybody can get Google Photos.
If I take a picture on an iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take the picture from the camera. I can share the picture right away. I don't have to.
Where do you have to go? Where do you have to go to share that picture?
Ted, look, Ted, I'm gonna do it right now. You want me to do it? If I take a picture, I can share it right away.
Oh, you're taking a picture from your iMessage like a caveman?
On my phone.
You're not
Like
taking
a caveman.
Oh
man!
You're not going to use the camera app.
I'm using. Look, Ted, that's the camera app. Now watch. You take a picture.
But right? Ted, don't you get it? It's so easy. Even a caveman can do it. Yeah.
I can hit share. Yeah. I don't have to go to my gallery or to nowhere. You just send it. So hold on. She's saying nobody wants to be like, oh, hold on. He's got an Android. So for him to be able to see the photo, I got to open up another app. Nobody wants to deal with that.
No, she's right about her point. I agree.
And Android knows it. That's why they're trying to make RCS.
Right, that's why they're trying to make RCS. But if RCS doesn't catch on, it's not gonna matter.
They know that their messaging sucks, and that's RCS is it sucks right now because Gary said it works on T-Mobile, but if you got a Samsung phone, you have to download Google's messaging app. Or if you're on Verizon, it might not work because you got to download Google's messaging app and hope that it's compatible with.
For me, it's easy because I use Google's messaging app on all my phones. So,
but that messaging app isn't the default, so it doesn't work.
It's just my favorite one.
The majority of the phones sold here are Samsung, and they don't have Google messaging baked into it.
So
not baked in. You have to download.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you guys then. And
most people don't like going to Google's messaging app because it's like a downgrade. On Samsungs, you can schedule messages, you can send all kind of different stuff. It's
Yeah,
got
but
features
with
to it.
RCS you can do that, can't you?
No, listen.
Nah,
You can't schedule messages. You can't pin messages to the top. There's a whole bunch of features that Samsung's messaging app has built in that you're gonna lose when you switch to Google's.
Yeah, that's probably
Google's messaging app is basic. You can send money on Google Pay. Who uses Google Pay?
Yeah. Well, you can send money on Samsung Pay for that.
Most people don't use it. Most people use what's the name of that stupid thing? Cash App.
PayPal, Cash App.
Cash App. Yeah.
I thought most people would use PayPal.
I don't understand why so many people hate the fact that people get mad when they're a green bubble. Like, you really do mess it up. When you're a green bubble, you mess up the conversation. Like, you can't, it just takes away all the iMessage features.
But wait a minute. But
listen,
Linus
it's
said,
not like
there's other options though out there, and
there's other options. But Mike, you gotta, Mike, listen, you gotta.
But he's right. But Will's right. The general public doesn't know about these other options and don't care.
Listen, go download Telegram and confirm your phone number, and then make a profile. Nobody's doing all that.
That's true.
Mike, we're probably the only people.
Doing good there, Lady Red. We're having a good time here.
Mike, go to your neighbor's house and see how many messaging apps they got. They don't got Telegram and Hangouts and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I turn on my group. I turn on my coworkers. We all are using Telegram, and to the point where actually the supervisor told one of the other mechanics that he refused to use it. Said, "You're going to put that on there because it works. Because it works for the group." Okay. So there are other options. And how about photos between people on Telegram? How about photos between other people on Telegram?
Yeah, they work fine.
They work
fine.
fine.
Listen, but that's why iMessage became a thing, because it just worked.
And it goes back then. That's why I say.
And this is what I always said about iPhones. They just work.
And
Android still hasn't gotten messaging together. So for anybody who gets mad at the green bubble thing, you shouldn't be mad, because you telling somebody to go to Telegram, you're doing the same thing.
I refuse to talk to Ted anymore for my iPhone line.
Telling somebody,
Ted, when you see that number, that's the line I'm talking on. I ain't talking to you for my other number.
Telling somebody to use Telegram is just like
you're banned. You're banned from that phone number. Okay.
I don't even have my SIM in my iPhone at the moment.
You're trying to get consistency in your messaging, and that's what iMessage did.
That is the beauty of iMessage, though. You don't need a SIM.
And how long RCS has been out? Since like 2016, right?
Yeah,
it's been out for a long time on Sprint.
Yeah, longer than that, I think.
It's been out for a long time on Sprint, but the rollout.
And again, it goes back to that's where I was saying earlier about Android is in trouble here in the States. Android, not Google. Android is in trouble.
I don't think
I think so. I really do. I really think they're in trouble. I do not see
trouble. In trouble. What do you mean? Like going out of business? What do you have?
No, not going out of business. Just having they're losing. They're losing people, right? And
while they gain the rest of the world. I mean,
Well, I know. I'm talking about
you here. George, you know what? They're gaining the rest of the world because you can buy the phone for cheap. That's why.
What phone? The iPhone?
Android.
85% of people on Earth use Android.
Android has so many sales because you can buy Android phones for cheap.
But that's true. That's fine.
And to Ted's point, Ted's Ghost phone for $200 and some, right, Ted?
$250, yeah.
Okay,
$250.
So somebody walks into Verizon. I need a cheap phone. Here you go. $200 a month. It works out to be about $9 a month. I'll take it. Okay, that's where only Android comes in.
I'll never understand buying phones on monthly.
Hold on,
Mike, it's free if you get it to a carrier. Just want to put that out again.
That phone is what, $250, Ted, or whatever.
$250, but Verizon Invisible, you get it for free.
All right, so let's say they were charging you for it, right? They're going to be like, yeah, this Ghost phone here, made by whoever, is $9. Or you can get this Apple iPhone SE for $12.
Or you could get the TCL 10L for $250 also, and have good cameras. And have good cameras.
Lady Red, chime in. How many iPhone? Lady Red's here. She works at a Cricket store. I bet you she could spout out some decent deals for iPhones right now out of Cricket right now. What the heck? I just saw a Metro PCS having the SE phone for $99. Buy it for $99. That's another
Somebody
way.
offers you a ghost pepper phone or an iPhone SE.
Exactly.
If I had
The Ghost Pepper phone
I
is
had to
free
choose
once
between a
again.
Pepper phone and a TCL 10L. TCL wins that hands down. It's the same price.
But you get it for free on Verizon or Visible.
Yeah,
and even if it is free, I ain't buying that thing.
yeah, I wouldn't buy it. And I'm not locking myself to Verizon or Visible either.
Well,
George, you're not locked to Visible. Visible is never mind.
George, that might work for you, but I try to talk to people at work, and when I tell them that you can go and buy an iPhone right from Apple, and then you get the unlocked version, and that's when they get the glaze over. You just lose it.
I just don't understand why
they don't get it.
They don't. And I say to them,
I'll
never get that.
I'm talking about people that
never get that.
Have a decent credit. I said, put it on your credit card, make monthly payments that way. You own the phone. If you're not satisfied, because I've been dealing with people who are on Sprint. I've dealt with 3 people. One of them.
So they like paying monthly charges. Is that the deal?
Because it's easier.
I don't get that.
It's easier.
Okay, George, I don't think they like it.
It's easier than just paying once and being done with it.
George, it is though. George,
I just think it's stupid.
George,
I just think it's a very stupid thing to do.
George is not dumb though. If you think about it, right? Let's say Mike.
It's
Mike
dumb to have another monthly payment that you don't have to have. That's dumb.
George, if Mike knows he's not leaving T-Mobile, right? He's gonna stay on T-Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he be like, let me give T-Mobile $600
because
I can just pay for my phone every month?
Mm-hmm.
When I could just keep paying
the market
every month. That's a smart thing to do. That's never been a smart thing to do. That's never going to be a smart thing.
You're paying the price of the phone. You're not paying additional. You're not charging.
And then you're going to go get Netflix.
We went from DIETSCHY talking about the blue bubble.
You're going to go get Apple.
This is interesting, folks.
By the time you're done, you're going to be paying $2,000 a month because you're an idiot that wants to pay monthly charges.
George, what are you talking about? We're talking about buying a phone. So if the phone
is talking about people, let's add on one more monthly charge. Let's do it for TV. Let's do it for phones. Let's do it for everything. Next thing you.
None of that.
I can't pay my bills.
It's the same thing, though, George. You have to pay $1,000. Like, do you pay all of it now, or like stagger the payments? Like, you're still paying the same amount.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
You're still paying the same amount.
Once you're not going to.
Wait. George, how do you buy your cars?
Silence.
How do you buy your cars, George? No, do you
but I don't buy my house and my cars and my TV and my phone and everything else in my life on time because I'm going to run out of money at some point.
George, you're not answering the question. When you go to the store, right? When you want to buy your car from the car,
lady, I'm going to talk about your point right here in a minute when he's done.
Here,
I answered the question.
So, all right, with the phone, all they're doing is saying, I have the let's say if they have the $1,000, right? They're like, why would I give you $1,000 now when in 24 months I'm not leaving and everybody's not like us, George. They might not be like, I don't need
correct, Days.
Here. So when they pay their monthly payment, they're paying the same thing that you're paying, but they also got their $1,000 still in their pocket. So how is it stupid if you're not leaving? Most people don't have 8 phone lines and they're not hopping from carrier to carrier. They're not making YouTube videos. They'll use one phone for 2 and 3 years.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, okay. You left.
All right, come on, Mike. Go to the next story. George, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Where's comments? Anyway, listen. Remember I was talking about
Ted too? Oh, okay.
Ted's alive. George froze. Look, this is where Android stands. This is where Android's only foothold still. You get a hell of a good deal. And I'm looking at the comment here from Lady Red. Android deals. The best sellers are the Silo 6, Nokia ND, Moto G7, and Samsung A10e. All right. Now we all know that yes, they're great phones, and for the general consumer, for the most part, can afford to buy this phone. Now, mind you, they're buying this phone outright and just with an obligation of being on, in her case, Cricket. But these are not powerhouses. These are not, S10s, S20s. These are not a Pixel phone. These are budget, lower mid-range phones. This is where I say I keep on going back and forth about, now these people are going to get these phones. They're going to be okay for a few months. And meanwhile, a guy like Will walks up and got their shiny new iPhone Pro with 256 gig max right there, Will.
Yeah.
They're going to see that, right, and then they're going to send a picture over that, and it's going to be all pixely and garbage from that person with the Android phone. So then they're going to be motivated. What's the iPhone deal? Here we go. iPhone SE 2020 is 240. I guess Lady Red.
I certainly got a good reminder of how I learned to hate Comcast in the first place.
Yes. So this is why I say there's nothing. It's just people have these bad situations or bad times with an Android phone, and then their friends chime in and go, well, look here, I'll show you what an iPhone can do. And that just takes that one time. That's all I keep on saying.
I remember, Mike,
that's probably true.
I think when I had like a S7, I was so happy because at the time the camera was good. But then when you take the picture or do the video and you send it to somebody, it's like, wow. And now it's better with RCS, but RCS has no traction for real because most people don't even know they have it. They don't even know nothing about it.
I just share it on Google Photos. And
am I right that even with RCS, it still hasn't caught up to iMessage with Google Photos?
Well, no. George, with RCS, you can send the same size files as iMessage. It doesn't have as many features as iMessage has now, but you can send the same size video.
Megabytes. Yeah,
you can send the same size video, the same size photo, but most people don't know they have it. Like the last time I had an Android phone, you could check basically to see who had RCS. If you tried to send somebody a message, it would pop up and be like chat.
Right.
Most people who I know who had Android, they didn't have it. It wasn't on.
Or you just share it via Google Photos. Like, this doesn't have to be dependent on RCS. All phones
it doesn't. It doesn't, but most people don't want to do all that. That's an extra step. Honestly, listen, Ted, let me tell you, I don't even like Google Photos the way that it works. I like having my own gallery. You know what I mean? But when I have Pixel, I just use it. I like having a separate gallery.
I love Google Photos.
Cloud and all that. I like Google Photos for backup.
Oh, I love having it in the cloud.
I like it to back up my photos. I don't like the way that,
Yeah, look what Lady said here. Lady, right. From what I'm seeing, the people that are switching to iPhone from Android are buying the crappy free $100 Alcatel and hating them when they see a buddy's iPhone. And this is what I'm talking about. And this stigma sticks with people because, again, going back with I'm getting people's feedback.
That kind of makes sense.
I have a coworker. I'm surprised she didn't. If she's here stalking me, she's going to chime in probably. But her exact words were, "I hate Android. I'm never going back. I want the new iPhone." And that's how she's had nothing but iPhone since, I guess, from the early days. And that stigma is still there. And this is where, again, I say Android is, at least in, again, North America, in trouble.
Well, maybe it's a good thing, though, at the end.
How do you mean in trouble? I don't understand what you mean in trouble. Trouble usually means the company's going out of business.
No,
I don't understand what you mean.
It means that people here are going to buy iPhone over Android. He thinks that it's going to swing. People are going to be like, I'm not buying Android. I'll just buy an iPhone.
It's dominated. It is so dominated here. Listen, everybody refers to a video chat now as FaceTime. Okay, when you look at the commercials,
people in America always buy an iPhone. There's nothing new there.
But when somebody makes a reference doing a video chat, I got an email today. Somebody wants to do I got to do a walkthrough with a video call. I'm going to break it to this guy, even though I could. I'm going to say I got an Android. I have no way of doing FaceTime. Want to do Google? I'm going to say Google Duo to him.
Mike, he's going to be like, we can't do it then. We can't. Over.
Exactly. That's what I can't do it.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Right. He's going to wind up making the COO come down with his iPhone to do the video call. Okay, that's what's going to could be the windup. But again, I'm just being obstinate and being a jerk
Right.
and going to say, hey, listen here.
My audio from you guys is breaking up too much.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just want to I don't know if you can, George, can you still hear me?
Sorry,
Now I hear you for a minute.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is, in trouble and as a respect of every time you turn around, you see a reference to an iPhone. Even when they do the commercials to show you a phone, like, do this app, and the phone is an iPhone like this, or the new phone with a big notch in it, and you can tell it's all representing for an iPhone. The general consensus here in America, and I stress America because there is just merely going across the border to Canada. Obviously, there's a step down. Okay, it's Sara DIETSCHY.
I agree with what Gary is saying, and it's not just China, India, and Japan. It's also Europe.
DIETSCHY. Thank you, Ted. I'll remember that. What was that now? Let's see. What was Gary? As long as China, India, yes, buying Android will be fine. Yes. I don't argue that point. Android will be here for a long time. What do you guys? Am I missing something? Are you all picking on me? I'm coming after you.
But you know what? If all of US all of a sudden wakes up to be, Team Apple, fine. I will accept the revolution. It'll be harmony. It'll be peace.
Okay. So looks like George, if you're still here, try to wave.
You know what? Somebody sent me a message today from an Android phone.
Who did?
I haven't seen this in so long. It was like the first part of the message, and then it had this number 2, like the second part came. I was like, wow, that's terrible.
Oh, okay. So her whole conversation didn't come.
No.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's an Android for you.
Here we go. I'm sticking with Android. I can't do low performance. I need certain things for my phone that budget devices cannot deliver. Well, let me tell you, Lady Red's sticking with her Z2, her Moto Z2. I know that much, and it's still going strong, and it proves that there are some Android phones that will stand the test of time, as they say. And correct me if I'm wrong, lady. You're still on the Z2, I believe. So
yeah, this $250 phone does the data tax perfectly. But one thing it doesn't do well is, for some reason, is Snapseed. Under Snapseed photo editing, it just chokes. So this is just to tide me over. But if I have to do anything creative, that's why I got this $700 webcam to use.
$700 webcam is right.
Although, to be frank, it's failing as a webcam. This iPhone
it's not failing. I think it's your internet or whatever kind of connection.
Because whatever you had last week was really good.
However you got it set up to work as a webcam ain't working.
So, all right. Well, while George is trying to get through Comcast's hell, we're going to change gears here a little bit on this next part. This next segment is dealing with copyright strikes. You get people using the power of copyright strikes, and it's a little concerning. Now, this part, I'm going to also have a tweet in the video showing some other things that are going on, and I want to just change gears and play this part. So, George, where are you, George?
I don't know. George is aggravated with his internet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right.
You can't say I don't keep coming back.
You better come back.
You keep coming, George.
All right. I'm going to share this.
Yes, I do.
I think it's worse this week than last week, George.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. And
yeah, it's bad.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, last week I was on the phone. I guess that was better.
I thought you were on the iPad.
No, he means there goes Ted.
I'm sorry, you're right. I was on the iPad. Sorry. Okay.
What is that?
Now, which one? This is not an audio, right?
What is this?
Mike, this one's not audio? Oh, okay, it is.
Okay, it's audio, but I also grabbed at the same time this particular tweet from Scott Manley. Scott covers rocket launches, rocket technology, NASA, stuff like that. You know, that kind of other thing I enjoy. So in Scott's tweet here, he posted, "Hey YouTube, I just want to report a creator abusing the content ID system. National Geographic is claiming ownership of a public domain content and shutting down small creators like NASA." Okay.
I don't even understand what he means by that.
Content system, basically, National Geographic is saying, "Hey, I want to claim the NASA launch that happened 2 weeks ago as their own, and claim it." Okay, and I just want to leave that up for people to read while this audio is playing. Now, this is the Tailosive Tech. Or this is Tailosive Talk. He has like a vlog channel.
Tailosive Tech. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But he has a vlog called Talk.
I didn't know that.
Where is it, Mike?
Yeah, is it playing? It's not playing here.
You have no audio?
Nothing came through.
Shucks, I did it again. Damn it. Look, I have this note right there. Hit the checkbox for audio.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I was in a rush.
Yeah, I've never had to do that.
No, why?
I've never had any kind of thing that, because I never broadcast anything audio when we were live. Yeah. Are you going to try it again?
Yeah, I think I picked the wrong one. Damn it. Screen share.
Hold on, let me see what I'm doing.
There we go. That would help. All right, let me. So that whole time
you see Gary's comments.
Did you guys hear any of this?
No, we didn't hear anything.
All right, let me start over again.
About the Tesla Semi.
You ready?
Okay. Well,
now we hear it. Yeah.
Semi, and this was posted by someone somewhere who was at the Tesla Semi event way back in 2019. Wasn't even that good of a photo. It was like very quick, very brief, photo taken off a smartphone. And I just wanted to refer to that when talking about the Tesla Semi. And this photo had been plastered on so many different websites, and there were so many different ways to find it that there was not really a source. It was just kind of out there among the, endless stream of photos that exist on the internet. And I used it.
You guys are hearing this, right?
That video got a copy strike. I'd never seen this before. I had never been aware that use a photograph in a video and get a copyright strike for it. So I thought something must have been up, because typically in the past, I've never had a copyright strike before. And I've shown footage, I've shown pictures of all kinds of stuff. I've just Googled online and used them in tech videos for years. I've been doing this since 2015 and never received a copyright strike. Well, the person who copyright striked me did not really know what they were doing. I don't think they understood how the copyright strike system worked, because I reached out to them and said, hey, I didn't know that was yours because I got it from a website that didn't credit you either. So I was just pulling it off the internet, and if you remove the copyright strike, I'd be happy to credit you. So this is not how the system is supposed to work, but I wasn't going to be angry or mad with the guy because I was just trying to be reasonable. I was just trying to level with him here and just say, hey, you know what? I don't think that deserved a copyright strike, but if you want credit, I'll credit you. It's not a problem. So it took a little while, but I finally got a hold of the guy, and he said, yeah, I was just kind of copyright striking a bunch of stuff that was popping up in the copyright section that YouTube gives creators that have a certain number of videos. They'll let you look at all of the matches they happen to find. And I don't know how he matched a video that just briefly showed a photograph like that, but he said said that he would happily remove the strike if I credited him, which it kind of defeats the point. You know, you're not supposed to really give copyright strikes just because someone isn't crediting you. If you're issuing a strike, it's because you don't want that video to exist, because a strike doesn't just claim the monetary gains of that video. A strike takes it down, penalizes the channel, and says, if you get 2 more of these strikes, we will delete the entire user's account, not just that one channel, any associated channels. So obviously I acted on this pretty quickly because copyright strike is kind of serious. So reached out to him. I knew right away that the guy just wasn't really sure what he was doing. So I said, yeah, don't worry about it. Just please have the strike removed. I'll credit you. We'll work this out and I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. So he reached out to YouTube and tried to get the copyright strike removed, and YouTube took their precious time. But then the real scary part sets in. Another channel that copyright striked a second video on Tailosive EV that literally showed a 5-second clip of a Tesla Model Y that was spotted in a parking lot. Okay, so copyright strikes, if you want to get into the debate of, hey, you're stealing intellectual property or you're not crediting someone, there's a whole debate to be had there, and I'd be happy to have it. But to act like someone is stealing like your livelihood or your job. And another person who's been doing EV videos, Ryan Shaw, who was doing compilation videos, something as harmless as compilation videos, right? Isn't that what like half of YouTube is? He was simply just posting Model Y sightings. That's all he was doing. Just any Model Y that was being cited, he would compile them in a video, and he was crediting all these people. He was trying his best to track down the source, and he credited the same guy that gave me a second copyright strike. And since that video appeared in 2 of Ryan's videos, Ryan Shaw, within 1 day, pretty much got 2 copyright strikes. And now I have 2, one that wasn't justified, and another from a different person, but also not justified. Now, if you're unaware of how the YouTube system works, if you get 3 copyright strikes or 3 community guideline strikes, that results in a deletion of not just that channel, but all of your associated channels. And from what I read online, it can also result in an IP ban, meaning that if all of your channels get deleted and you try to start another one, they will register that it's from the same IP address, or as soon as you try to apply to the monetization program, they will deny you because you've been blacklisted as someone who's abused the copyright system. I did a video on the Model Y that was 10 minutes long, and at the very, very end of it, I was just like, and Model Ys have been spotted, by the way, and I just showed that video because I'd seen it a million times all over Instagram and websites. It got copyright strike. The whole video was taken down, and the clip was literally like 5 seconds out of a 10-minute piece. And the real crazy part is that the guy who copyright striked Ryan and me and so many other channels that used that footage, by the way, he started reaching out to them saying he would remove the copyright strike for $500, which is actually extortion. Not the way the system is meant to be.
So, yeah.
Mike, you're going to get a copyright strike.
Yeah, I know.
I was wondering the same thing. Yeah.
Don't worry. This video, the video that leading up to this, you know, the video when I shared the page already got copyrighted. Would claim. I got a claim on it. I don't care. I don't care. But on the other hand, though, this is nuts. This is dangerous.
But I disagree with the way he started when he said that first copyright strike because the guy didn't give him credit. Well, that's one of the reasons that copyright strikes exist, because you are supposed to give credit. And every single time that I copy a picture, especially from my website, every single one of them says, you know, that you're taking the chance.
You give credit. You cite your sources.
Yeah. So I disagree with him there. The guy wanted credit, and you should give him credit, and that's part of what copyright strikes are for.
Yeah, and then you got the credit, and then he took out the copyright strike. No harm, no foul. It's the second one that's a problem. That's extreme.
I agree. Yeah, $500. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, though, too, George, is so you're at your favorite park that you what comes to my mind is like in your prior videos, you're at the park with the jet, the one you take your
and I'll be there again next week. I'm sure.
Okay. So let's say you take a picture of that and you're featuring showing you the capabilities of the camera. But yet, though, somebody else has that same picture and it claims that picture is mine, and they show an identical picture. Now, it just so happens that they were in the same pose. But what I'm saying is this is dangerous stuff. That's people getting.
Yeah, but I don't think YouTube would allow that. But if you're pulling it off the internet, somebody did own it, so it's different.
No. What it used to be is you used to be able to get stuff like this without any kind of questions, and now everybody's out to quick buck.
You remember? Yeah,
I mean, every picture that I ever use on my website, there's always some note that says, this belongs to somebody. So I think that's fine.
So you're going to say something, Ted?
Oh yeah, I was just remember when Verge weaponized the copyright strikes. They were putting out
for that video, that computer.
How to build a computer.
They
screwed it up, and they were getting roasted by all these channels. And then after they removed the channel, then they started issuing copyright strikes.
That video was too funny. The guy with the thermal paste.
But they upset a lot of people. That's for sure.
So, Ted, it don't have no box.
What are you guys sharing back and forth?
What doesn't have a box?
Oh Lord! It's gonna come.
I think they're looking at. They're looking at phone. You guys looking at phones, right?
I told Ted to find me a Pixel, whatever, 4XL for $700. He found me one on Swapper for $675, but there's no box.
Mm-hmm. I found him a Pixel 4 for $696 with the box. He's like, no, I can't do it.
Where? Which one with the box?
That was invisible. That was invisible. That
wasn't an XL. That was the small one with the trash battery.
No, you only wanted a XL after I found you.
Yeah. Mike knows I never buy the regular one.
No. Look at the monster phone he's got now. He's got that thing's too big for him.
Yeah,
now.
This one's too big. I tried, Mike. I tried to ask Apple, can I just
what is that? Is that iPhone XL?
All right, so Mike, you are breaking new ground tonight because it's let's make a deal. Okay.
Yeah,
I can switch with you.
George,
you got
some kind of
iPhone 11. So you can switch. It's a manageable size. It's bigger than the iPhone 11 Pro.
I need the 11 Pro. I need the 11 Pro 256.
For how much? $600?
We could do an even trade. My battery life's still at 100. My battery health.
What storage is your phone?
256.
Oh wow, that's too much sauce. That's too much sauce.
We're new. He was going once and going never again.
That's it.
So, all right, listen, guys. Any other comments?
Mike, we still got stories here.
I got one more. I was going to read. I got one more. All right, I got this one here. Let me. I'll get it. I can. This one I don't need to worry about audio.
You go.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Is it up?
It's up.
Okay. I'll start with this. I watched a Samsung user choose a new phone, and it drove me mad. What goes through the mind of a normal Samsung Galaxy S7 consumer searching for a new phone on the Verizon website? Well, all of this. So this gentleman is Chris. Is my cursor? I can't see. My cursor.
Yeah, your cursor's moving around.
My cursor's around. Okay. Chris, I cannot figure out how to say his name. Matt Kizzy. Okay. Hey, Chris. Thanks for the article. Anyway, I just gave him credit. Oh, by the way, talk about credit before we go. In the show note, or at least in the bottom of the description there, I gave everybody credit that I took video and pictures of.
Good.
So that's including the Joker. That's including Sara, Peachy, DIETSCHY?
DIETSCHY rhymes with Peachy.
I know. I stopped and it said Peachy and said DIETSCHY. Linus, everybody. I made sure I gave credit.
Maybe they don't want credit. Maybe they want cash.
Well, I got monopoly money. So let me read on here. Why you do it is one of the questions that not always easy to answer. Sometimes we look back and unable to answer beyond it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Well, it comes to buying phones. The decision-making process has surely become more difficult. Phones last longer, so a change must be made in a considered manner. Worse, there are so many of the darnest things these days. It feels less than they're marketed and more that they're 3D printed. So I asked my wife, a diehard Samsung Galaxy S7 owner. That's how old is that phone, folks? 4 years old?
4 years old, I think.
2016, yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
To talk aloud as she went through the buying process of a new phone on Verizon's website. While I sat on the sofa and took notes and sipped a $3.99 Vazus Blanc from Trader Joe's. I guess he's drinking wine. Okay. So began like this. I clicked on the upgrade option and going to choose based mostly on price and the ones I like.
What's up?
Here we go. There is one key word. Choose basically mostly on price and the ones I like. Okay. But you don't care about phones, do you? I ask. When I look at them here, I can tell which ones I like. Sorry, I don't mean to. I'm trying to emphasize certain words here. I don't mean to read like a grader here.
We forgive you.
Thank you. Which is dissimilar to her approach on the night we met. Here, I thought she explained she chose 4 phones to be in the final. This was going to be easy. I picked 2 Apples and 2 Samsungs. Well, that's a bit boring, isn't it? I said. There must have been other brands there. I wanted her to explore, you see. Otherwise, she's going to going Apple versus Samsung all over again. There are things I've learned. There are things I've heard. There are things I haven't heard of, or things I remember from my youth, like Nokia. She continued. There was really stuff I didn't know. There are 58 items. Now she's referring to 58 items on the website while she's choosing the phone. OnePlus, I don't even know what that is. What's a OnePlus? I started laughing when I read that part. I'm sitting on my porch laughing out loud when
a lot of people would say that. Probably most people.
I know that's the part I was laughing at because we know what it is, but her reaction is going to be like that. I don't know how OnePlus is going to make it, but anyway, what is a OnePlus? The person here says it's a computer. Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you.
Well, nowadays it's a TV.
Yeah, it's a phone brain. I muttered. Her freedom of speech continued without stopping. How do you say that name? Kyocera. Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Well, it's very popular in Europe.
Well,
I thought they were dead. Wow.
No, they're around for mostly.
I got a buddy in Scotland that has 2 of them.
Palm, didn't they make those personal service devices like 20 years ago? So me, never heard of it. Alcatel, never heard of it. Motorola, I've heard of. LG, they make TVs.
Wow.
Which is great. But,
at least she didn't say refrigerators.
Right. Some of them are expensive. $42 a month. No way. She did actually say no way in her words. Were a little more decisive. Then she stopped, but there's the LG for $15. Perhaps I should look at that. Breaking through momentarily, surely.
Obviously, she doesn't know about cheap LG phones.
Right. She then dug deeper. She's a scientist. They do that, and they take a while. Compare and contrast and contract. So now I'm going to the whole compare thing. I got a cheap Apple, the SE, and an expensive one, the XR. I've got the most expensive Samsung, the S25G, and the Galaxy S10e. I didn't interrupt. But only 4 devices can be compared, and I want to add the cheap LG, she said. Its usage time is 45.92 hours. That's what it says. The Q70, whereas the Apple SE is 13, and the 2 Samsungs are approximately 34 and 33.93, referring to, I guess, time on or hours can be used. This is this really could be one of the biggest moments of our marriage. I thought my wife just might forsake Samsung and veer around Apple and choose an LG. I should have stopped thinking. In the next breath, she said, now I know why I don't want the Q70. 6.3 inches. Too big for my tiny hands. That's huge. That's be so exceptionally annoying. She said exceptionally annoying. She did say exceptionally. Then things got even more detailed. She writes a 100-page grant application after all. The XR, $25 a month. I can do that. What they started at, which is of course a lie, and then there's the important stuff, battery life, all through the breaking it up by usage time and standby time. What does standby, which I mean standby? I guess my phone's alone when it's nighttime, but it is plugged in, so does it matter? Okay, this is coming right from the wife of this
right.
Okay, exactly. I told you this was her inner monologue, right? These were the next several things that came out of her head as she compared 4 phones. I care about reviews, probably like an idiot. Weight that matters. Storage is a definite matter. Rear camera, 12 MP. Is that like a position in the British Parliament? Megapixel? I don't know. Okay. All right. So, I want to know the difference between black, cosmic black, and prism black. I'm going to guess they're all guess what? Black. I look at battery life because I care about that. But then the price starts to come into play because one of the most usage times is the most expensive one. The S20 is expensive at $50 a month, starting at C. This is what makes the SE less interesting. 13 hours of usage time, and I'm already annoyed at Samsung. What do I have? An S7. It's 9:20 p.m. and I have 18% left. Okay, what would I want? Something that just does 13 hours of usage time. It's an S7 from how many years ago, folks? How many years ago? Okay,
4 years ago.
So you're lucky you got this much out of it. We started long before 9. In the first world, life is still hard. Elimination. And then the S20 was eliminated. It's the most expensive, and it's 6.3.
Well, I knew that was coming.
I don't need something that big. Let's measure my current phone. Oh my God, it's tiny. It's 5.56. I don't want a 6.3 that would be way too long.
Now she sounds like a scientist.
Okay. I felt we were getting close to a decision of sort. and she said, FHD, future high definition, WQHD, Whirling Quad HD, Apple with its IPS technology, interpersonal stardom. The SE is like kind of tiny at 4.7. And so the Samsung S10e is looking pretty good. At least it wasn't the obvious choice, but it was also a choice that lasted mere seconds. Most of them have 4 stars, except for the S10, except for Samsung Galaxy S10e, which has 3.7 stars, not 4. S10e has the least number of features, the lowest ranking for design. I will continue to listen. One day, I want to be a psychiatrist. And then suddenly, the XR was gone. Damn. The XR is 6.8 ounces, and the Apple SE is 5.2. That kind of kills it for me for the XR, which left me with the iPhone SE and the Galaxy S10e. This became painful. The SE 256 gigs is another $3 a month. Let's look at the S10 SE. It doesn't give me 256 option, but I can only get half, and I'm paying more for 128 gig, 128 GB. And just like that, she changed her mind. Looking at what matters, what I end up with is the Apple. If I was an Apple person, I think it's great, done. But I'm going to have to transfer everything over and learn a new system. That seems like more work. This, you see, is what happens if you think about these things too much. And then another tangent. I see my friends can't text message that to you on an iPhone. Do you do that? Did we just talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay. I don't. I said, like this wine for $3.99. This had to take at least 45 minutes, or seemed to me at least 4 hours and 50 minutes. But finally, she reached a conclusion. This is no good. I need to go to the store. And all said,
which is what she probably should have done in the first place.
Exactly. But she's those same sentiments. She's going to start doing that all over again at the store. Just this time, she's going to have a salesperson pushing her to a certain direction.
Yeah, but some salesman will sell her on a good. Some salesman will sell her on the phone. You can count on it.
So, I found that a very interesting insight for what some of the things we always talk about. Do we talk about how people look at phones? We phone people, we phone nerds here don't consider those things.
Yeah, we're very different.
Oh, we're very different. We're very, very different.
Yeah, we're very different than the average
when we try to talk about it, and like I said, as I said before, when I was trying to talk to my coworker about various different things. Ted, look over here. Ted, this way. There we go. Over here, Ted. Thank you.
Move
it away. I like the extra shot. That's fine. Just move that whatever spot there. Okay. And the picture of family back there is very nice. Thank you very much.
Ted's got a spy cam.
Yeah, he does. He does. Man. Oh no! Look at him. Turn me off. So anyway, yeah. We're always going to be struggling with this. I know it. I know I'm always going to be, part of my French, bitching about it. You know, I'm going to get back to my coworker. When I mentioned her, she was worried about switching over to because of what's going to happen. She's a Sprint customer, and what's going to happen with T-Mobile. And I was trying to alleviate her concerns and let her know that, okay, you want the newest iPhone, you want the 11 or 11 Pro, go buy an Apple, get the unlock, and gives you the flexibility. And she kind of caught on to that a little bit, but she just couldn't. Then it became the issue like that when the girl said, now, I don't know how I'm going to get my information onto the new phone because I don't know my password.
But you gave her misinformation. The newest iPhone is the SE.
I tried to talk her into it. I showed her my SE. She was around for that.
No, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody to get that mic. The battery is too bad. Don't tell nobody to buy that.
How do you know the battery ain't bad? I've gotten friends with this battery. I've gotten good battery life. But anyway, she's sold on the big.
You got it. You got his hackles up
Mike,
now, Will.
Mike, listen, Mike. Okay, if the battery's so good.
No. Let me tell you, she likes the big phone.
Monday, leave all your phones home and just take the iPhone and no charger.
Well, I gotta know. I can't. I wonder. Here goes Ted with another view.
Ted is
so, what did she get?
Oh,
wait, well, there we go. Ladies Red has the comment of the night right there. I find having a conversation with a non-phone tech person a bit painful. Yes, it can be. Very painful.
It can if they don't want to, take in what the knowledge that I spit. What kills me is after they come to me for the advice, I give them the knowledge, and then they don't follow the knowledge.
They go opposite, completely the way
they go opposite, and then they come to me saying, "Ah, man, I don't like this," and I'm like, "Look at you now. You did this to yourself. You made the bed. Go lie in it."
Yeah. Paul, if you're still here, Paul, yes, I changed my name in the channel. I am now the Joker, but without the paste. That's all. Joker Tech is here, and I'm gonna be just one of those. He's not going to be so serious. That's the. I'm not going to. Yeah. Why so serious? Yeah. See. Yeah. That's it. So. But anything else, guys? It's 8:53. Does anybody know if Team 100 happening tonight or
8:53?
Mike. What?
Yep. No, we're good.
8:53.
I'm sick of Comcast anyway.
Yeah, I
you mean 9:53?
Yeah. I'm sorry. And 9:53. Thank you, George, for hanging in there. Thank you for not throwing your modem across the room.
All right. So before I lose again, Comcast, it's on my channel next week. Hopefully, I'll have my fiber optic in here instead of this crap.
Oh my God, Lady Right. Yes, I asked, what phone do you have? It's something like it's Walmart phone. Okay,
it's a Walmart phone.
It's a Walmart. I love it.
Okay. No, Grant. I'm not going to say no. I don't like Brand. So. Will, I want to thank you. George, thank you for
that would give the whole white-black thing no meaning. Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you for not throwing your modem across the room. Will, thank you for your rants as I predicted. Ted, thank you for your 5 different camera angles. Okay.
Yep. I want to thank Ted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for playing devil's advocate with Will with Android.
A pleasure. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. So okay. I wanted to take a moment real quick and thank everybody here. What's this now? Wait, I just saw Paul.
90 Day Fiance. What's that?
See you later. I'm about to. Sorry about that.
Better you than me, I always say.
I want to thank everybody who came through tonight, and yes, Joker Tech is going to be the channel. I'm not going to be making videos like I normally would. I'm just going to do it whenever. I never cared about subscriber count. I care who do subscribe. Thank you very much. Who are still subscribed and still follow me.
You mean you're going to do it when it hits you?
How many when it gets me? I've lost about 5. So I think I'm like at 837. But I come here and I know though the one thing that's going to be consistent is the 3 Fridays out of the month and hanging out with you guys and I really would and Jerome and that's what's going to be.
Cool.
See, I see Eric Easy. Sorry, man, we're getting ready to wrap up, but hey, pass the word, everybody. Tell everybody what we did tonight. Hit the replay. Tell everybody hit the replay, and it's going to be on George's channel next week. Right?
Yeah, going forward, yeah, I like this thing where we don't have to read. So, like, can we copy the format? Are you like laying claim to this?
He said, "I like this."
Like,
well, you know,
should I have for the next show? Should I just like read it and then play what I read for the next week, George? You ready to do that? Like an audible sort of thing?
No, that's okay.
That's between you two. But when it's my turn, I might come back and do this audio portion.
That sounds good.
All right, so maybe I'll have different videos of the Joker. So
thanks for watching with all my Comcast problems, folks.
Yeah. Again, I'm Joker Tech, Mike Dixon. See me on the Twitters as the Joker. It still says at your device. I got to figure a way to change that handle. And say good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
Say good night, Gracie.
George, Gary,
that's what I was waiting for. Thank you. Good night, Gracie.
Okay.
Brian, Crystal.